The bag it comes in is quite soft, but it was really cheap. This thing was like £7, 7 British pounds, which is pretty much nothing. And I did use it on the show us your steak challenge video, and it sat there for quite a while behind the fire and it didn't warp or anything, so I do give it a thumbs up for the price, but I haven't used it that much. Pain in the ass to get in and out of the bag, but a pretty decent piece of kit. Probably like one of the only things, I don't want to rip on them too much, but I've got a problem with Tom's shoe when it comes to something else I'll show you in a minute. Okay, that plastic bag over there, I'm just showing it as an example. It's a typical everyday thick plastic bag you get from a shop. That's kind of my food bag. I put all my stuff in there, not my spices and stuff, but I put, you know, if I've got chops and stuff, vegetables, everything kind of goes in here wrapped up really tightly. Sometimes I put my chamois cloth around it again just to protect it inside the bag. These are my chopsticks, hardcore bushman all outdoors chopsticks. I'm just kidding. These are hazel sticks that I used on my last wild camp, the wild camp which I had here. And I decided, instead of I want to be a bit more sustainable, so instead of keep chopping down bits of hazel, and this woodland over here doesn't have that much of it, just measure some out, and this is for cooking my bannock or cree bread on. So 2 pieces are more ideal, and divide your bannock into half, put them on each one, and cooked a lot quicker and tastes a lot nicer. So these 2 are going to kind of like always come along with me. They don't really weigh much and they fit perfectly in my bag. Moving on to, well, this guy just arrived last week. This is the MSR Trailshot. Let's take the band off. It is a water filter pump, a hand pump. So you obviously stick that end in the water, take the cap off of that end, and then you should get apparently 1 liter of water per minute, filtered water. There is a list on the back of the box of the different biological bacteria that it filters out. I don't know if it filters out chemicals, so I wouldn't recommend using this on a stream where farms are nearby, where you could get chemical and fertilizer contamination. That over there is my grill. That's just a miniature oven grill that I take from home and I use it, and it's really thick, so I haven't been crapped on by my wife yet for using that. Food and beverage department. So this is what I'll be drinking today. It's a lager, not an IPA, but it's made by a craft brewing company from Sweden called Pistonhead. Well, are they called Pistonhead? Yeah, quality Pistonhead product. Full amber, dark, full-bodied amber lager. Brewed with hints of spicy citrus with a bitter twist. Okay, so it might be similar to an IPA. And the percentage is 6.0. Cool. Before I came here, I had a Yeasty Boys Session IPA because the can broke before I got home, so I had to drink it. Not complaining. Okay, so here we are about Tom Shoe again. I bought this guy 420ml Tom Shoe titanium mug. I had my suspicions because titanium is not cheap, that's for sure. So anyway, had a wild camp, put my hot water in here, my water in here, put it on the fire. After a minute or so, I started smelling something weird, and then my suspicions came true when I realized that this is actually spray painted to look like titanium. You can see where the spray paint is kind of melted off, but the smell was really weird. Titanium does not do that. So it's fake titanium, and I don't know if it's made from tin or aluminium, and it's just sprayed to look like titanium. That's Tom's shoe. Avoid at all costs. And that's what I actually used on here. So do you see those, see that over there? That's from the actual, from the titanium cup, the fake titanium cup. So it's like the melted blob sitting there. Okay, oh, let's have a look at this. This is my spice equipment. So that's a homemade salt, peri-peri, and chili based meat rub. I just did a whole mixture of those things. This is just cracked black pepper and Himalayan pink Himalayan salt, and then olive oil. That's been my go-to flavorings, on-site campsite flavorings since I started wild camping. By the way, I've done 3 wild camps to date. The most recent one was in this woodland here. Alright, see if I can open this guy. So this is a canvas, a waxed canvas bag that I got from, I forgot what they're called. I think they're called 3 Trees products, based in the UK somewhere. I just bought this on eBay. So they have different sizes ones, and this one is meant for a large-ish billy can. So this billy can in here is my zebra. There goes my lager. Okay. The camera is under my chin. There's the wax canvas bag. Feeling inside after all this rain. I can feel the coldness outside, but I can't feel any dampness inside, so it seems to have done its job. That was like £7, I think. I just seriously needed a bag that I could put around my zebra, because zebras don't clip shut. And inside my zebra, I bought the 12 centimeter zebra. I took a gamble because I have a 10 centimeter. Now this looks like Tom's shoe, but it's not. It's another Chinese brand which I recommend because they made this Lixada, and it's high quality. So instead of titanium, I bought stainless steel. This is Lixada. It's got a hanging handle plus side folding handles in case you want to use it as a mug or like for your soup. It's 750 mils with stamped measurements. That's 7 foot. Wait. Yeah, it goes up to 750, but it measures only up until 500. And basically, if you fill it to the top, it's 750. And in ounces, that is 16 ounces. It's really sturdy design, extremely strong, rolled on the edges very well. It's really solid. I would actually, if these guys made a billy can as big as the zebra, I'd probably go for this. And then the lid, really sturdy, super sturdy, really solid. Got one of these, bit of breathing holes as well. And this has been so I bought this at the same time as I bought the Tom Shoe drinking mug. The Tom Shoe was meant to be just for coffee and stuff, and this guy was meant to be a second cooking container to complement the Pathfinder. In case you want to be cooking, 2 different things at the same time. Obviously they come in these bags. So Lixada, anyone from Lixada, if you're watching this, if you can understand my language, make more of them because they're really awesome. Righto. So for water containers, obviously I've got this guy, 1 liter, and this guy, which I totally forgot about and have been leaving at home for the last 2 missions. I bought this at Primark. It's a 5 liter container. No, sorry, it's a 2 liter container, BPA free, £5. Pretty solid. If it breaks, it breaks. You spent £5 and pretty solid. Will fit really well into my rucksack, so I'm pretty happy about that. just been forgetting this at home, so I've been filling up all these retarded sized containers. Okay, lighting. This is my Yuko lantern. Right now in there is a beeswax candle. I'm giving these guys a really good thumbs up in terms of quality, mainly for the candles and the build of the actual lantern. This thing sucks, really sucks. This pack flat downward reflector cost about half the price of the entire lantern, and comes with these pathetic little metal studs which keep falling out. So I lost two, and I spent 10 minutes. I finally found that one, didn't find the other one, took it home, hammered them in like hell, and now it stays like that. And I don't know, I find that a really pathetic thing. Do I regret buying it? Kind of, yeah. The candles, really high quality. The free candle you get with it is rated to 6 hours, and I think I used that thing for like 10 hours before it finally died out, so thumbs up to that. The beeswax candle in there right now is rated from 9 to 15 hours, so I have a pack of spare beeswax. That's one in there now, I got two at home. This kit is not mine, it's lent to me by my brother. Thanks, bro. This is Energizer, and I got money to buy stuff, but when I knew he had a head torch, I said, could I borrow it just to try it out? Because this one, I think, is like £11 on eBay, made by Energizer. It's got different functions. So you got red. The red is, the beams go really far. I prefer a torch that has beams that kind of like spread out and go far. It's up to you. This is two big lights. I think this is bright. That I think is the one that spreads around your area and lights up just the local area. That's obviously everything. And then you have flashing, and that's it. It does have the clip thing that you can adjust the angle of it while you're eating your food and make yourself look like Hitler. Straps are fine. I've used this torch on my last wild camp in here and it worked pretty well. I give it a big thumbs up. Like, this is for budget bushcraft, this is absolutely awesome. I'll have to see if I want to buy one of these. Clothing and protection. So I didn't bring everything today. I've got various things. I've got a Ridgeline hooded top, which is thin fleece. I'm going to show you that in another video, because there are things that I've left at home as well, which I couldn't bring today. So I got the mechanics gloves. These were £24. I went to the Bushcraft store in north of London to get these. I actually went for the £19 pair. They didn't have my size, so I went for this pair, and I don't regret it. They're pretty hard wearing. I've been using them now for like more than a month and a half. I've been using them when I do a bit of light tree surgery work. I use them when I cycle, use them when I bushcraft, and they've done pretty damn well. So pretty big thumbs up. Just people at mechanics, could you put less labeling on it, because it kind of sucks. If you put that or that, one of these, that's everything you need. That's waterproof pants, known here in the UK as trousers. This is a very high quality brand, but quite cheap, so this is more budget bushcraft here for you, budget camping. These get really high recommendations from people who work in trades such as gardening, landscaping, grounds worksmen, outdoorsmen, things like that. It's made by this company, Result. So you get them in this funky little bag. Everything's folded up in here, the pants and the top. The jacket I've left at home. What's cool is the bag's made from the exact same material. So this bag subsequently is my electronics, spare batteries, you know, my camera goes in there, because I don't have one of those multi-purpose carry bag utility pouch things yet. Okay, so onto the rucksack. This is British Army coloured DPM, or could even be Dutch Army, I'm not too sure. But I think this is a cadet bag. I don't think this is British Army, because, you know, certain things are not so high quality. drawstring is kind of busted. I bought this at a car boot sale for like 10-15 pounds. It's got a nice big compartment which divides into two, so I normally close up the drawstring at the bottom, and in the bottom section I put my sleeping bag. Then you have these extra straps over here, so you can obviously put a roll mat or something else. That I put the Polish Army tent over here, my Palatka tent. Two decently sized pockets on the sides. One pocket, because I'm still kind of new to bushcraft, because this is a bit of a damp country, I often put one pocket with a bit of kindling in it, or wood that I allow to just sit there drying, so I can baton it into pieces and just start a fire a little bit easier. Maybe it's cheating, I don't know, but I don't get to go into woodlands in the wilderness where I can just make as much noise as I want and not have to worry about drawing attention to myself. Then it's got a top pocket, which is pretty good. You dump a whole bunch of things in there. Got a bit of extra fat wood. Yeah, I might want to modify it a bit and sew some extra things onto it, extra pouches and stuff, because yeah, they're just not sufficient. I'd like something on the front maybe. Okay, I brought this roll mat just to show you. This is one of the roll mats that I own. These are really cheap. It's like 5mm thick. It's got that space foil on one side, so heat retention, really small. So I take always one of these with me, but I have like another two at home. This also was delivered a week or so ago, and I have wild camped with this already. This is the Highlander base self-inflating mattress. It's also camouflage like that. Comes with this little bag. It's got a repair kit inside, and I used it for one night so far, and I was really happy with the results. So I bought the small one, you know, because I don't need a soft mattress underneath my ankles. I just need it underneath my main torso and my head, and this covers that whole area. So there's no point in having a long one. I don't know why people do that. Maybe in a hammock, sure. This is my original cordage that I got. How do you like how I keep it? I know that's going to piss some of you off, but that's how it is. Deal with it. That was a 20mm section. I've cut like one or two pieces from this for something. I always bring this little takeaway pouch. This is my tinder pouch. So anyone out there who makes tinder pouches and could lend a fellow budget bushcrafter a hand, get in touch. It would be nice if I could get a little bit of a freebie from YouTube once in a while. Anyway, so in there I've got what is it, hogweed stems. I've got some birch paper bark. Then I've got some pretty solid bark. This is cherry. I often strike onto it with the birch tinder, so I can then use the cherry to hold the cherry and chuck everything else into the stove. I've always got this little bag, or one of them. I've got 2 or 3 of these at home with stuff in it. Okay, always carry a little bag with a few tea bags in. This is rooibos tea. A couple of them in there. Rooibos, known as red bush to people who don't know the real name for it. This is just washing liquid, so when I wash my dishes and stuff, I put a bit of blue hand soap in there just so I can see that it's not something else. Rubbing balm. This is made by elderfarm.co.uk. This one hasn't got a label on it, but I believe this is the one called Gardener's Hands. So, you know, when you spending your time outdoors and your hands get roughed up a bit, few injuries and stuff. It's based on plantain, I think, so it's really good for healing your hands. Just carry something like this with you. DC4 sharpening stone. You got the gold side is the diamond, and the dark side is the ceramic. So obviously you mainly sharpen from here, and then you finish off on the ceramic. That was about £20 plus delivery. It's really worth it. I use that. I haven't used it on my axe, but I use it on my Mora at least twice since I bought it. That's my entire first aid kit. I'm not shitting you. I know I need to do something about that, but that's my first aid kit. I sometimes bring these guys along. These are just secateurs, gardening secateurs. It's great for when you're harvesting stuff. Only when I want to bring it along. You probably could harvest nettles and stuff without it, but it's just going to be a pain, so you can do a lot quicker job with one of these. I was harvesting nettles yesterday. Here's a couple just to show you. These are OS maps. We use them in England to figure out where we can find woodlands. These are just a couple that I got. I don't know, I got these separately or in one order. I got different companies that make these. So there's Land Ranger. This one is Pathfinder. These are all different ones, and it gives you the full information. So let's have a look. I like the Pathfinder series. So you see it says vegetation, so you can find out if the woodland is coniferous, if it's non-coniferous, so in other words broadleaf, is it orchard, is it coppiced. You can find out information like wells and springs and public rights of way, where you are allowed to walk, things like that. So I'm just ordering these online, getting loads of them for all around the country, not only surrounding London, so that whenever I want to do some camping in the future. And then this is the little £5.99 top, 3 meter by 2 meter top. I just bought that mainly for when I'm going to be camping and I need something underneath me, because my tent does not have a floor, does not have a base in it. For £5 it's pretty decent. And then one last thing, boots. These boots were a gift. There's nothing too special about them, but they're pretty hard wearing. I think they're known as snow boots. They're kind of like half of a gum boot or a Wellington boot as they call them here, and then just like a padded inside. So quite waterproof here, and then obviously not so waterproof here. They were a gift, but then the person did tell me if you want to buy some more, they're like $14.95 at a shop called Decathlon, I think it was. Decathlon? I could be wrong, but yeah. So budget bushcraft again. Those boots, I've been wearing them during work time, and they work pretty well. So here we have the gear which I had to leave at home. As mentioned earlier, it's the heavy stuff, the bulky stuff that I just couldn't carry through. When you're doing a full out gear review, obviously there are things, unless you're doing your back garden or something, or you're lucky to have a vehicle you can drive everything down there. I came on a bike, so I had to leave some things at home, and this is the continuation. So the first thing I'm going to show you, bottom of the screen, this is the Mountain Warehouse. It's just a really kind of basic sleeping bag. It's a double. I've got a family, so the more the better. So 2 to 3 season sleeping bag. Comfort temperature 9 degrees Celsius, extreme temperature -9. I camped in this in around, I think it was around 6 degrees before I got the wool blanket, and it was pretty cold, and I had like my fleece on, and I left my pants on, my trousers, you know, so I had to put like extra layers on and stuff, and I was still kind of cold at night. So, and that was only 6 degrees Celsius, so the -9 is a bit exaggerating there with them, I think. Mountain Warehouse is just a company in the UK that kind of like has a camping shop chain, and this is one of their products. For normal camping, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it was like £20, I think, 25. That's my sleeping bag for now. I can't see myself purchasing anything more extreme than that for a while coming. Next one I'll show you is the DD Tarp. I haven't even opened it yet. You can see it's still got the tags on. I'll only open it when I go practice how to put up a tarp or actually use it. So this one I got is a 4.5 by 3 meter price. Totally forgot, so can't help you with that. I also spent a bit extra and they sent me like a 10-meter long Ridgeline rope. It's quite thick and heavy duty. So yeah, I got the 4.5 by 3 simply because I may be camping in the future with other people and need just a bit of a bigger cover. Yeah, just, you know, I don't know how much more it was than the 3 by 3, maybe like 7 pounds more or something. This is my military style. It's not military issue, it's military style wool blanket. I can't tell you how long it is. The little tag that has the dimensions is somewhere folded up inside there, but it's like 45% synthetics and 55% wool. Obviously I prefer more wool, but I'm not going to complain. It was like 20 pounds. Don't be dismayed with these military style wool blankets. They look extremely thin, as you can see there. Like, it feels like it's like 3 millimeters thick on the edge, and then in the middle it feels like it's 2 millimeters thick. But they're really, really warm. Obviously the purpose of a wool blanket is because wool still retains heat when there's moisture in it. So if you've gotten it wet or it's a really damp environment, it maintains your heat internally inside there, compared to synthetics, which give off the heat or dispel the heat. So it's really long, goes over my entire body, can cover my feet. I can wrap it around me inside the sleeping bag, and yeah, I think on eBay it was 20 pounds. You got all different types of ones. I'll need to buy more in the future if my family and I are going to go camping, so I might try different types. Like there's Russian military ones you can buy, so if they're the right size I might try them out and review them in the future. Next up, the big boy. This is the Polish Palatka, the poncho tent, known wrongly as the lavvu, but I know why you call it a lavvu tent, because it has that kind of shape. I'm not going to take it out, but basically it's 2 ponchos. They're 2 soldiers. Each soldier will have 1 poncho, and with that poncho comes a small tent pole set and 4 pegs. The tent pole set has 3 little aluminium poles that go to about that height. When they put their poles together, not those poles, the tent poles I'm talking about, then they can put the 2 Palatka ponchos together, button them up, make a little teepee, put the center pole in, 4 pegs on one side, 4 pegs on the other side, and they've got a tent for 2 people. It's really small for 2 people, so you get 3 different sizes. You get the small, medium, large. I don't know what size the small is. I think it's 180 something centimeters. Then the medium is like 190 something, and then the large is 2 point something meters, I think. And I don't even know that. I don't know if that's the height or if it's the circumference or something, you know, diameter. So anyway, the worst thing about this tent that most people complain about is the weight. All in all, plus rigging equipment, comes to like 3.2 kilos. I don't have a problem with it. I'm pretty cool with it. It's a canvas tent, dark green, as you can see there. Pretty high quality. It's military build. It's got storm flaps, so you've got your buttons that you put in there. You connect that to there, and then there's always like another little flap on top. So it's obviously designed to be used in a country like Poland where it gets like -20 and stuff like that. Super high quality tent. Negative for me is that I don't have a lot of space at home, so when I come back from a camp and the canvas is a bit damp, I have to like come into this room over here and open out all the like expanding hanging lines and drape it over that and make a bit of a mess. I don't have a garage or something or a shed that I can put it in, so that's one negative for me. Other than that, it's an awesome because you can divide it in half. If you're going for a day trip, you can pitch half of it and have a little shelter in case it gets a bit windy or a bit rainy. You don't have to carry the entire thing with you. So it fits into this British Army stuff bag, which was like £3.50. Got a couple of these bags. I should have ordered a few more. So when I got the tent from Military Mart, it's a UK online surplus store, I bought 2 of these just to try them out, and I kind of, you know, you have to try things out. You can't just buy 10 of something, but I think I'd go ahead and definitely buy quite a few more of these things. Obviously, I paid the same price for both, but I got like a used one that doesn't look so great. Like it looked like it might even be able to, absorb water, whereas this one's kind of brand new, still very glossy, and you know, water will bead off of it and stuff. Okay, so that's it for sleeping gear, shelter. A couple other things I wanted to show. Ridgeline hoodie fleece. I bought this because I did need some kind of top that I can wear out, get dirty, and Ridgeline is a New Zealand company. It's an extremely thin fleece, but very, very, very warm. So then these guys know what they're doing when it comes to making things like this. So yeah, it's got a hood, typical kind of like kangaroo pocket things, not kangaroo, but you know, put both hands in there. It's got a zip here, so it's pretty cool if you've got gear that you want to carry with you and you need something that will very easily fall out of there. It can be quite a lot to fit in here. It's about the same size as the actual hand warmer pockets, but an internal thing in front of it. So a lot of stuff can go in there. Knife, fire steel, a whole bunch of things. I do prefer things with the zip going all the way down the middle, but I definitely needed something that opens up over here, because obviously, I don't know if you've seen in my videos, but I've got dreadlocks, and I can't have something that's, I've got to squeeze my locks through in my head. It's kind of annoying. Super warm. I've slept in this out in the field, and yeah, it's a really nice top. It was like on a discount for like, I don't know what the recommended retail price is, but it was 35, 39 pounds or whatever. Next, almost last thing I want to show is the Apache workman's gear, workman wear. I've got the trousers, which I've only started using recently, and so that's the symbol over there, Apache. It's really hard wearing stuff. I'll do a review in the future on this stuff. Loads of pockets, meant for workwear. It's hard to tear the center crotch area. I'll open out the shorts. So the shorts look, they've got the typical workman's flaps, flat pockets. With the shorts I cut these off, because in summer I don't really want to deal with too much clothing. But with the pants, that side I actually just fold the pocket in and put it into the hand pocket. Helps to warm you up a bit and all that. Pants obviously have padded pads at the knees, and those pads open up and you can put foam pads into there as well. Anyway, those two will get a review in the future when I talk about budget bushcrafting. And the final thing is the rain jackets, which is made by, anyway, I showed the bag and the pants in the video earlier, and the company is called Result, I think, and they get extremely good reviews amongst people who work outdoors and have to purchase their own waterproof equipment. We've only been using this for about 2 months now, and we've hardly had to use it because we've had that extremely dry summer. But so far, every time it has kind of pissed down with rain, we haven't had any water coming in on our bodies or anything. So I use it at work. But I think the whole package was like maybe £25 for the whole set, which is actually pretty decent. And like I said, it comes with a small bag, about the same size as this DD bag. The top and bottom go into that bag, but that bag's made from the exact same material, and I have doubled the use of that bag. I don't really use it for these anymore, but I use it for my camera, my spare batteries, and any electronics I want to bring with me. So I think that's it. I think finally I can tell you on this video that the whole gear review, which I thought would take maximum 25 minutes, is finally over. I've been split into 2 videos, part 1, part 2. But before I go, one more thing. I want to show you the difference between the Ordnance Survey Maps. This is the Pathfinder map, which is the one I prefer. To me, I consider this a map that you can take around with you. Don't know if you can see the whole thing, but it folds. Just take a look here. It folds pretty easily. There you go. And then all of your information, like what's a symbol for a spring, a well, coniferous woodland, non-coniferous, probably like rights away, things like that. Then there is the Land Ranger map. I don't know if you can be able to see this honestly. Zoom out, okay. This thing is like almost 2.3 times bigger. Yeah, you can kind of see the whole thing. It's massive. I can't say with the level of detail, 125. Yeah, so they're the exact same scale, but I think these guys have obviously divided the country into less segments. Really cool map, but obviously that's for sitting in a caravan or on your kitchen table. That's not for carrying with you unless you can handle pain in the arse situations with wind and rain and everything.